Hi everyone, my name's Sarah and I'm delighted to be able to share with you one of the new sticker stencils, Sticker Stencil number 9. These are just a great width with a really lovely wide top to them. What I'm going to show you today is an idea for using these as jars of gratitude. I've got some pencil lines on here ready to write down what I'm thankful for. So I've glued this directly into my journal. The other way you could do it is you could add it as a tip in. I'll show you that as we go along. So let's get going. I'm using multifarious card. You could also use watercolour card or even paper if you're going to glue it into a journal. I'm going to start with my violet chalk and just go around the edges. This I'll make it darker again in a bit with some dark denim, but this will give me the outline of my jar, big moon jar. So just right, let's get some green going. So I'm just gonna lightly add this up to my purple. There you go. And then we can get going with some stamping. Now I have used a mushroom stamp, which is made to look like it's growing out of the wall. So I thought it would be really quite fun to have it growing out of the side of this jar. I'm using one of the new VersaFine colours, Portobello. So let's stamp our mushrooms. There we go. And then the snail cap. I'm going to bend it so it's got a bit of a curve, so it's going to be going like this. Stick it down to my block. And then again, Portobello. I'm just going to pop that shroom just slightly above the base of that jar. There you go. And then, so that was the single, and then the smallest one. So we're going to pop that here. Hope you see that. Going along the bottom, I've got the small stones set. Again, using the Portobello. Give it an extra bit of pressure just around the edge of the stencil, just so it makes sure it picks it up. And then we'll have it going the other way around here. Just use it the other way up so the tapering end can overlap with that one. There we go. And then some of my favourite little shrooms, because I just wanted to fill this jar with shrooms. So these are the tiny ones from the lamps set. And actually, now I remember, I stamped the stones on a piece of paper and cut them out just so I can mask off those. And then I can have varying heights of these little toadstools. Of course, if I used the masking sheet, that would mean it definitely wouldn't move, but I'm okay with this. And just adding as many shrooms as you like. And then using some Spanish moss mask. I've got spruce, another one of the new colours. So I'm just going to add this as if it's grassy bits growing up round and about. Going up between those mini shrooms. I love that it's such a detailed stamp, but the detail goes right to the edge, right to the end, so you can use it as something growing up or down. So let's pop some coming down from this jar here, and I'll add some more in a second when I've added the flowers. I'm just going to give the stencil a little bit of a wipe. Let's get some flowers down. So I'm using the fairy bonnets. What's nice about these is the bit of a gap between them, so you can make it look like they're directly hanging from the top of the jar. So I'm using medieval blue to stamp these, and I have to turn it round. So let's stamp one coming down there. Such a gorgeous blue, and it works so well against that purple and the green. I'll have another one coming out there. There we go. And then I'm going to add some of that Spanish moss in between. Like it's hanging down in a cave or something, which is, I assume, where it grows. There we go. Right, so that is all our stamping. Let's wipe off that, and then we can go in with some colouring in. There we go. Now I've been using Mondeluz pencils. I've not used them before. They're a really beautifully waxy pencil crayon, so they're really soft to use, so it's very easy to get depth to your colouring, because you can lean slightly harder to get the darker colour and then fade it out. But of course they're also water soluble, so you can add water, that will give you a greater depth of colour. So I'm colouring my shrooms in with my pencil crayons, and then I'm going to add some sparkle with my gold Wink of Stella, my favourite Wink of Stella pencil. So I'm doing like stripy turquoise and pink, adding a bit of brown for my stalks, and then I colour my fairy bonnets. So like I say, I coloured these in pink, just quite evenly, same kind of shade over them, and then I added some depth using the red pencil. That's what makes it all so fun to watch, as you know, seeing how people interpret videos and ideas, and we all learn from each other. We see something, we go, oh, I want to thought of that colour combination, I'll give that a go. Or so there we go. There we go with our red highlights. And then let's make these stones look like stones. Using a brown this time, it's a bit lighter. And there we go. Now I'm going to get some water and just add the water to these, because that just makes that colouring a bit darker. There we go. Now I am going to get my gold Wink of Stella out. To colour these little shrooms in is add that gold, because I think that gives a really nice colour to the inside of the mushroom. A hint of gold down the stem for a bit of sparkle, And then let's do the tops of all these little shroomies with the gold as well. There we go, it looks, I don't know whether you can see that gold shimmer, but then to add a bit more depth in here, I'm going to get my acrylic block and some olive, some Sahara, and maybe a bit of dark denim. And I'm going to use those as watercolour paint. Different things you can use, you could use your marker pens, you could use your watercolour pencils again. There's lots of different ways of adding shades, ink, colour. You could even use your watercolours. Now I'm not using a great deal of water here, so the multifarious is quite happy. But if you want to use a lot of water, then feel free to do it on a piece of watercolour card. There we go. Now I can just get my wet paintbrush. I'm just going to pick up some pink off my pencil. Yeah, that's better. What I like about doing this is you're picking up that colour from the pencil, but it also, because it's wet, it's reacting with that ink. It'll give us some nice texture. Pop a bit around here. For a final bit of shimmer, I'm going to use my silver drop of shimmer. So I'll give that a shake. Use my wet brush and add some of that. It's called silver, but it tends to come out as quite a white one. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the stencil back and give a final bit of definition to the jar with the dark denim. Just round the edges, so you could use the smaller brush if you want to. Just brings those edges to, there we go. And then, like I said, I'm cutting mine out because I'm going to add it to a journal. And they're super easy shape. There's no fiddly bits with this. All those can be as simple as that. So I used Count Your Blessings on my other one. I think what we'll do is use the same word bullet from white in this one. I'm going to put them in a different position because I want to show you adding it as a tip in your journal. So let's have it this way around. And I like to get my pencil and do a scribbly line like that. Let's out my notebook. And then I probably would have held that straight so it was in line there. Oh, I'm going to knock you over with this long ruler. this in here and just draw your pencil lines like this. So, just drawing a few, give you the idea. Now I do a lot of tip-ins in my diary, and all it requires is a piece of tape. So you can use a piece of Scotch tape or something here, and then if I've taped that on there, I would pop a bit of tape on this side as well, and then you've got a little extra page. So you could do your journaling on the back if you've got more blessings than the front. I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you do any yourself, and I'd love to see the different colours that you choose as well. Enjoy, and don't forget to count your blessings.